All right, this came up, Fez. I got an email over the weekend. It was sent to us at ronandfez@AOL.com. If you ever want to reach us, it's ronandfez@AOL.com. The end, of course, is AND. Now, this one came in, and I read it, and I thought I'd save it for you for during the show.
All right, now this email, the postman's been here already?
Postman. No, Fez, this came through on the computer. Email.
How do they put it in the computer?
You know, I know that you're not up with...
You cram a letter in the hard drive? What happens
It's
there?
not like that. It's electronic, Fez. You and I are the first show ever to use electronic mail or email, as I call it. And my belief is this. In the future, this is how all mail will be sent from one computer to another. Listen to this, would you please?
And now, Ron and Fez, the show of the future, brings you...
Electronic mail. Mail sent electronically.
Oh, now I get it.
Electronic mail. By the way, take care of Greg on 2. He's sitting there waiting for you, Harry.
He's got my beer, Harry.
Yeah. And now if Fez owes money, keep that guy holding on as long as you can.
And act like I'm not here.
Do that gimmick.
Best of show.
Then it's Sid Rosenberg time, where we're not actually leaving the studio until we know for a fact everybody's gone downstairs. All right, here's the email. This comes from Jared Fez, and it said, Ron and Fez, how many 9-year-olds could you beat up in a ring? Now, all the kids are normal, non-retarded, just normal. How many 9-year-olds?
All right, just average American 9-year-olds. I think 3.
You are kidding me.
3 I could take out.
You can only beat up 3 9-year-old?
Yeah, I think that's a lot.
And by the time the 4th came in, you would be, what, you overpowered?
Oh, my arms would be down by my sides at that point. I'd be so blown up, there's no way.
3 is 3 punches. So that's over quickly. First 9-year-old comes out, bam, he's down. And then the other one's looking around like, wow, what the fuck? As I get in the ring, I know I'm getting knocked out. So even if I know I'm not going to knock the kid out, the kid ain't going to want to fight after I hit him again. And I'm not bragging about, I'm not saying how many adults I could beat, but there will be a pile of 9-year-olds I'll be knocking out. A pile of them.
A pile of them? No, 3, I would be in a whirling dervish at that point.
Yes.
They're coming at me from 3 different directions. My head doesn't even spin.
I'll beat those kids up like they were the crazy 88s. I'll just be bam, bam. It's one punch a kid. A 9-year-old can't take 2 punches from a full-grown man. I'm going to say I'm going to come closer to 1,000 of them.
1,000?
Yeah.
There is no way you would be totally overwhelmed by 1,000.
How could you be?
Anyone would be.
How are they going to take you down?
Just by the sheer numbers of them. You get one on your back, you get a couple hanging onto your legs, and
bam, bam, they're going down. You're kicking, you're punching. And also, this is set up like he says in a ring. I don't know whether it's the full reign of 1,000, like you're talking about, or is it one at a time? Because at what chance you get to have 1,000 people in a ring?
It's got to be a big ring.
You know it's coming one at a time. You're coming in like that, crazy 88 style. I don't see it as being a big deal. Earl, how many?
I'll be very conservative, 6 or 7.
6 or 7?
That's twice me.
I'm being very conservative, though.
I never want to get into a scrap with you guys. I never want to be in a situation where I got like Earl and Fez have my back.
Well, not with 9-year-olds.
I mean, like, what, all at once or a time limit, or I'm not really sure how many.
What, Earl, you know as you hit one 9-year-old, it's over, right?
Yeah, nice swift kick in the stomach. It's
and
all
yes,
over.
that ends it. So you know you could do that more 6 or 7 times.
Again, I'm being very, very
I
conservative.
see Master Poe. Let's bring Master Poe in because this is an interesting thing, and we should have somebody who understands the martial arts to help us out here.
Well, this will add a scientific view to it.
Yeah, and we know this is going to be the high end. All right, Master Poe, you're in a ring. They're sending 9-year-olds at you, one after another. How many before you finally go, I can't take it anymore, and you surrender to them? How many could you beat?
9-year-olds?
Yeah.
You want me to hit a 9-year-old?
Yeah.
They're not retarded or anything. They're just normal 9-year-olds.
If they're retarded, I'll take maybe 1 or 2 tops because they have superhuman strength.
50 will go down.
50 will go down easy. I think it's even more than that. I think you're going to go way higher than that.
There's no way I would get close to double digits. It's not happening.
What is wrong with you? You have the ability to punch, right?
I have the ability to punch, but I know my wind. I know I'm not going to outlast more than 3.
You're going to have 4 that will attack your right leg, 4 will attack your left leg. And then the other ones will jump on your neck.
Yeah, but
kick
I don't...
you in the...
yeah, my neck is snapped. Great, thanks.
And the light bulb.
Hold on. I don't know how organized they are. I don't know if they put this together in some kind of an art of war thing. 9-year-olds have definite ADD situations where they can't follow along. And I'm saying this. As soon as you bust the face of the first 9-year-old, you don't think the other ones are going to be freaked out? When I was 9, this was a sound of alarm for me and my friends. Teenager. You would, if you heard one of your friends yell the term teenager, if there was 8 of you, you would run because you would be petrified of them. I see fear with 9-year-olds.
Yeah, that's true. You'll have about 20 or 30 of them will run away.
Yes.
As soon as you do that, if you punch someone in the face, 30 will run.
I know we've got to be talking hundreds. I honestly believe hundreds. I think it's going to be like if a fox ran into the chicken coop. I think it's going to be the same type of situation. The lion around the zebras.
See, I just see the chicken still coming at me.
Have you ever heard, hey, did you hear about that fox that got killed by 30 chickens? They could probably do it, Fez, except for they don't believe it. Hey, Richard, you're on Ron Fez.
Hey, guys, calling from Las Vegas. I don't know if I'm your first caller from Vegas or not, but I love the new show.
Thank you very much, buddy.
And I think, Ron, I think you're overestimating this, and Fez is going a little under. I'm 6'7", 230 pounds.
From Grenoble,
and
France.
I figure, what's that?
Go ahead.
I figure I can take on 25 or 30 9-year-olds at the most, because if you ever seen a 9-year-old get pissed, and you get 3 or 4 of them attached to each leg, and they happen to bring you down.
All right, let's suppose they grab your legs like Master Pose, and you just start bringing a hammer down on their heads. They're going to let go. A 9-year-old has never really, a lot of times when you're 9, you don't even want to punch in the face or get punched in the face. And I'm talking about showing these kids and just lighting them up and breaking a jaw.
9-year-olds in the nose, in the face. They're probably going to go running off to mommy. So you can,
right.
But I tell you, 25 or 30 of them jump on your back and clamp around your legs. They might be able to bring you down and do some damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to Pete here. Pete, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Look, you're talking about the 9-year-olds. Think of it like this: you're dealing with white 9-year-olds. Ronnie, you could probably take out a bunch, like you said, right?
Right.
You're talking about blacks and Hispanics. They got knives and guns, maybe 1 tops.
Well, first of all, there's no weapons involved here. And here's what you have to understand. I was thinking white 9-year-olds. I wasn't thinking of any street smart kids who could really handle themselves. And I'm also not going girls because they're much bigger.
Oh, yeah, girls at that age. They've had a few periods under their belts.
Oh, God, why be gross, Fez? Why talk such a way?
And they're just like steroid calves.
One of the things you have to remember also, one of the kids are going to kick you in the shin. And once they kick you in the shin, now you're going to start hopping up and down.
Here's the thing, Master Po. The kid who kicks me in the shin is getting fucked up. He's getting it 3 times. Because I'm going to blast that kid making an example out of him. And I'm not shutting up. I'm yelling, this is what you get. And I'm throwing elbows. I'm throwing knees. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. You're going to see some kids getting shattered. You're going to see some kids getting shattered out there. And I don't think the rest of them are going to want any part of this. I would love to do this TV show. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey,
Yeah.
how are you supposed to beat up a bunch of kids if you got such a hard boner?
Oh, you know what? You're the sickest bastard in the world. That's the sickest bastard in the world. Roger, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Are we talking a 9-year-old battle royal here?
Well, this is the interesting thing, because Jarrett really hasn't put this together too well. He says, how many 9-year-olds could you beat up in a ring? All kids are normal, non-retarded, just normal. So I'm sure people bring up, hey, retarded all the time to this guy.
That's got to be the first question.
And that's how he leaves it, in a ring. So I'm thinking almost Crazy 88 style, where they're coming over 1 at a time, not coming over 100 at a time.
See, I picture them all coming at you at once.
But again, you understand, Fezzi, what a Royal Rumble is. That they're coming in 1 at a time. But if you can't get the kid out of the ring, they're staying in there.
Ron, what are you going to do, though, when one of them gives you the slick Rick uppercut to the nads?
I'm going to kill that kid. And I'm going to tell you the truth. And I don't know whether this is in there, but I'll snap a neck on one of those 9-year-olds. And when the other ones see what a dead child looks like, I think it's going to throw a fear through that group. I think the fear is going to be rushing up and down their spines.
See, I take a NAD shot, I'm down in the corner. And I'm just defenseless at that point. I can't take NAD pain.
You better start and believe in yourself, Fezzy. You need a little more confidence. You need a little more confidence in yourself. Hey, Eric, you're on the Ron Fez show.
How you doing, Ron? Hey, Fez.
Yeah.
Welcome back, first off.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe 15, 20 kids. Maybe give them the old Stone Cold Stunner, or maybe page Dr. Martin, get a steel-toe boot and do the Opie, kick them right in the liver.
I mean, if you're going to look into that, yeah, I'm kicking some of these kids, and I'm kicking them hard. And I guarantee you, once I kick them once, they're not going to want a second one. And I'll open up one of them with just the cocoa bud, Fezzy, where I'll just take my head and burst open one of his little 9-year-old nose. And when the blood is flying, the other kids are going to be freaking out.
Well, I have to tell you that if you ever trained before and you're in a ring for 3 minutes, it's more difficult than you think.
It's exhausting. Good point. But we are talking about 9-year-olds. It's not like they're in great shape or can even get in great shape.
Well, you still have to punch and kick, and that takes a lot out of you.
Have you thought of this, Bo? You grab one of them by the ankles and you just start swinging him around, using his skull as a weapon?
See, now, if I use that move, it would have to work instantly. That would be my one-shot deal, because by the time I lift a 9-year-old up into the air, I'm done there. I'm spent.
You know, after hearing your confidence in yourself, Fezzy, I'm going to say you lose to the first one. What I'm going to think of right now is how many Fez Watleys can beat up a 9-year-old, and I'm going 8. I think I'm going to have to clone you 8 times.
I'm sure I could take one.
Now, if it was how many 9-year-olds can you rape, that I know you have experience in. Here is Carl. You're on Ron Fez.
Hey, guys, you're forgetting about collateral damage. While you're fighting one, you can holler out things that hurt the feelings of the others.
Right, fatty, you're next.
Your
Stuff like
parents
that.
don't love
hey,
you, Santa's
Four Eyes,
dead.
you want a piece of this?
Yeah, then their eyes are clouded with tears, right in the nose.
Yeah, because they freak out at that age.
Oh, yeah. Santinium, interesting.
Yeah. The whole thing is going to be a Santini. And that's what I'm saying, too, Fez. When they start to see what happens, a lot of them rolling in the corner. It's like you don't think me and my friends could have beat up one of our older brothers? But when one of our older brothers jumped in the middle of us, the rest of us were cowering in the corners. Because you're so scared at that age.
See, I think if a couple of them got on my arms and legs, then I'm not moving.
No, it's not you. You're going to lose to one. We know that now. We believe you. What I'm saying is an average man. How many could an average man take?
I would say 5.
All right, let's say
3 for me, 5 for the average guy.
What about Mike Tyson in his prime? 89 Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, I would say, could take a dozen. That's as far as I'll go with Mike
Then
Tyson.
I wouldn't watch boxing. I would not watch boxing if I thought to myself, oh, here's the toughest guy in the world. And yet, a baker's dozen of 9-year-olds could kick the shit out of him. That would be it for me. I'd throw my TV out. Brian, you're on Ron Fez. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Brian.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
What I want to know is how many kids could Master Poe take if they were trained by Master Poe?
All right, there's a good question. If you train these 9-year-olds.
How sad your students turn on you.
It happens.
Yeah.
See, now the stakes are higher because my kids are going to...
Now the student is the master.
Well, you know, we did hear normal kids. There was no training. There's no weapons. I'm going to throw this in and just say white kids so we know they can't fight.
That makes sense. That sounds average.
What do you mean average?
Just average. Just middle America average.
Don't get racist about it. I'm just trying to set up a thing, not for you pick what normal is. I'm sorry, Earl, that you had to hear that. Hey, Roger, you're on Ron Fez.
Hey, guys, first-time caller, part-time lover. I'm 28, and I've got a 9-year-old little brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, when we're out roughhousing outside the back, and he's got his little friends, and we're just playing, the first time one kid takes like an elbow or something, and they they get the wind knocked out of them. The rest of them all just get big-eyed and back off a
They're
little.
petrified, yeah.
They are scared. And plus, you're trying to take it easy on them because you don't want them going crying to mom anyways.
But
So-
what if you could have your dream, Roger, and you just unleash, and you just start busting some bones?
That's a dream?
Cracking them.
Well, that's a dream.
Yeah.
It's a dream. If they're coming one by one,
Yeah.
there's going to be a pile.
Yeah, there's going
No
to.
doubt.
It's only going to be your own exhaustion, and Master Poe pointed
doubt.
this out.
Exactly.
It's only going to be your limit, your own cardiovascular shape, that's going to make this a fight. I certainly don't see you losing a fight to almost an infinite amount of 9-year-olds.
I totally. If it's my win, then I'm completely shit out of luck.
Yeah. Well, we said we're taking you out of this, Fez. We're going to put a normal adult into this. We understand now your limitations. I didn't believe before the show started. Now you've convinced me that you are right. You might be able to take 1.5. And even then, I think it would go as far as a draw. Here is Ben. Ben, you're on Ron Fez.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What do you got for us?
I know we're talking about white kids, but if they're black, I mean, no matter how many come in, I mean, if you throw like a basketball or maybe a watermelon in the ring,
All right,
they
I'm
might,
not-
they might
You know
leave you-
what? That's racism. I just want no part of it.
White people are so scared of black people.
One day when Fez does the show by himself, you guys can sit around and do that kind of southern humor. But it's not going to get it with me, Fez.
I don't know if you're allowed to use distractions like that.
White people are so scared of black people.
It wouldn't distract them. And you won't need distractions. This is an adult American male against how many 9-year-olds? I don't see it being much of a problem at all. Here's Scott. Scott, you're on the Ron Fez show. How you doing, buddy?
No, pretty good. You?
Cool in the gang.
You know, I think it's absolutely great that you got a martial arts expert in there that's trained in taking out, you know, full-grown men that are trained to do the same thing.
Right.
And he's talking about slinging around 9-year-old children.
And not only that, but if you saw the smile on Master Poe's face while he was talking about this, and I'll go so far as to say the erect nipples, and I said to myself, this is not the first time he's had this conversation.
It makes you wonder if he's done it before.
Now, Scott, are you trained? Scott, do you have any training in your background?
I just did a little boxing here and there, but I do have to agree with Master Poe. 3 minutes in a ring is a long-ass time.
Well, you know, going even 3 minutes with a bag, if you're not in really great shape, is exhausting. But I think the adrenaline of knowing that you're crushing children's bones is going to keep you going. That'll keep the excitement level up. That's going to make it happen for you.
You know, one thing that's going to make it even harder is that you have to reach down towards the child.
Interesting. I didn't think of that.
You're not striking straight in front of you. You have to reach down for them.
Right.
If you go down on your knees to start throwing punches
And
at that level,
I know you've gone down on your knees, but it wasn't to start throwing punches. And that's with 9-year-olds.
it's going to be hard to get back up.
Yeah. Because you're what? Satisfied?
No, once you're down there.
I never understand. I don't know the whole gay thing. What do you mean?
I mean that if you stoop down to their level, it's going to be hard.
Oh, I'm not going down to their level. That's for sure.
It's going to be hard to get back up on your feet if they're still coming at you.
Yeah, what if you're just sitting in a lounge chair and you're running them through?
There's no way. They'll tip the chair over with me in it.
Do you think you can even knock out a 9-year-old? Do you feel confident that with your hand, one punch, you can knock out a 9-year-old?
Yes, I could do that.
I don't think you can. Then you know you could do it 3 times. If you could do it once, you could do it 3 times.
I'm going by the 3-minute rule here. That's 3. If you're bringing in a kid every 1 minute,
and
by the 4th kid, I am just stuck and win.
A 3 kid, if they're coming in 1 a minute,
yes,
then I'm going to go on all day long. Then I don't have the slightest problem because it's going to be bam. I crush his little skull. And I sit down and smoke a cigar for another 55 seconds. The next one's coming in. Bam, I put the cigar out on him.
Ouch.
I laugh, and I'm pointing at the other kids. Who's next, Chubby? Is it you? Is it the fat kid? Freckle face? Who's part of this? And these kids are going to be pissing themselves with fear. The fear factor is what you got to get in their kitchen, Fez. You got to stay there. That's where this war is going to be won or lost. In their 9-year-old minds.
I also don't want to slip in any of their piss.
Yeah. Here is Sean. Sean, you're on Ron Fez.
What's up, buddies?
Yeah.
Number 4824.
All right, buddy. How you doing there?
Real quick, can we get these kids headgear or
No, there's no headgear.
Kicking the crap out of them.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. This is the thing that's going to happen for you. And Master Paul, I know you've been through this before because of your training. You got to think to yourself, I might be killing this guy with this shot. I might be killing this 9-year-old. And I personally have already known I can deal with that. I'm fine with that part of it.
Well, you're going to be beating them up pretty good. You might at least give them some kind of protection from getting their butt.
No, I'm not going to throw out protection here because I don't need headgear. Why do they get it? There's an infinite amount of them. I think I could beat up every kid in the state of Delaware. I'm not going to go through a larger state, but if you took a state the size of Delaware, and what are you at there, third graders?
Right, yeah.
And you bring them all in, and you line them up, bring them in by buses. And then we get the black kids out. I'm not fighting anybody from Wilmington. I'm gonna fight the kids from Claymont, maybe Bethany Beach, Lower Delaware, if I have to. I think I'm just going to keep knocking them out one after another.
They're all lined up like they're going to see Santa.
Here's Lou. Lou, you're on Ron Fez.
Hey, what's up, boys? 26078.
Way to go, old school.
Yeah, listen, all you got to do is open slap these kids. You don't got to punch them.
Right.
Just open hand slap. None of these kids have ever been beat up by. They never get a good beating by their father.
Right.
They're just like they're marshmallows.
And nothing hurts more than getting hit in the face.
That's it. A good hand slap.
Most of the time, and I'll check with you, Mr. Poe, let's say in a bar fight, you hit a man right square in the nose, he doesn't want to fight anymore, right? It's over for him.
Correct.
Because it hurts. And I don't care what kind of shape you're in, that hurts. Well, with a 9-year-old, this is going to be the worst pain he's ever had in his life. So one punch, Fezzi, ends him.
Well, that's one of the things that I wanted to discuss.
Please,
If you've never punched anyone before, your first punch, you're over. You're done. Because you really don't know how to position your fist.
Right.
And if your wrist is just bent down a little, then you're going to break your wrist. However, what this gentleman just said, use your palm.
Right.
Absolutely. You could palm heel,
Interesting.
slap.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
I break my wrist. What do I do with the other two?
And what do you do for a date? The other two what? Wrists?
The other two 9-year-olds.
Oh, I had no idea where you were going with that. I thought you had 3 wrists. So good points. This is going to be helpful, everybody. Write some of this stuff down that Master Poe was saying. You may want to look into more kicking and just palm shots.
Kicking?
And, yeah. And I'm saying, I know, you're saying, you're not going to. You kick a kid in the throat, a 9-year-old in the throat. It's going to end it.
I got to get my leg up that high.
Kick him in the stomach if you need to, Fez. Kick him in the stomach. Joe, you're on Ron Fez. Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, how's it going, Ron Fez?
Good.
Master Poe? It's a
How
pleasure.
How you doing?
Hey,
man?
I have a 9-year-old, man, and he's like 4'7" or 8, 75 pounds. And, man, you multiply him by about 10, and you got a problem, man, because this kid, he's tough. He rides his bike all the time. These kids are in shape, man. You got to be careful.
Well, maybe your kid is. Where are you from?
Well, I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, okay, so you're out there in the desert, your kids riding around. Okay, I'm talking about a lot of these little suburban kids, these little fat asses. And most of them are gonna blow up by the time they even get into the ring.
Is that the average size of a 9-year-old, like 75 pounds?
I'm going to say picture Fez as a 9-year-old, and you'll see what you're looking at. We're not fighting that little Tarzan kid who was on the news a while ago.
Yeah, some of these, my kids that are training, 9 years old, they
Yeah.
can do 100 jumping jacks, 50 push-ups. So if we're talking unskilled,
then
I could see it.
We're going unskilled. I'm not going against your trained killers, that army that you've set up of just little ninjas, scary little ninjas throwing Chinese stars at people. And you also train them to steal? How does that work out? How's that? He's like Fagin down there, Fez.
No one hears these ninja kids coming in the buildings.
No. Those kids are frightening. Steve, Big Steve, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Hey, guys, great show.
Yeah, it is.
I'm wondering...
Sure, when you're talking about intellectual stuff like this, you are going to have a good show.
How many times can you punch these bony heads and flailing arms before, your skin just gives out and you start bleeding or the pain gets to you?
All right, well, hypothetically now that this actually happens...
it's happening.
It's going to.
Okay.
I've already talked to the folks at XM. We're going to do this experiment.
If you execute, like, let's say a vertical punch,
right,
and you do a series of vertical punches, you can pop out 50 punches in 5 seconds. So that's 50 kids. And depending
Right there,
on
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, depending on your training, if you're comfortable with hitting things, then it wouldn't bother you. You don't feel the pain.
Right.
Especially if you're punching correctly. As soon as you make a mistake, then you're in trouble because you're going to break your knuckle or you're going to break your wrist or
Right.
something's going to throw you off. So you would have to use a straight line attack, not just a jab. If they're coming at you all at once, then make sure you use a vertical punch and you constantly throw those punches like a flurry of punches.
Interesting. I'm probably also going to wrap a belt around my fist, too, Fez.
Well, if you wear it into the ring, I think you're allowed to use it, right? It's pretty much anything goes.
Here is, here's Jared. Here's the gentleman who wrote the email. Jared, interesting point you came up with today. How are you, buddy?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Yeah. How about for you, Jared? You're the one who, did you come up with this idea or did you hear it somewhere?
No, this is a discussion that me and my retarded friends talk about.
This is what I call pot talk. After 2 joints, you get into that, hey, how many 9-year-olds do you think you could beat up talk?
Pretty much.
Yeah. How many for you?
I estimated somewhere between 50 and 75.
Yeah.
But I have a friend, John, who came up with the number infinitive. So, just endless, countless.
Well, that can't work out because sooner or later you're going to die from old age. So, we can't have infinity.
Waiting for 8-year-olds to turn 9
or
so they can get in on this.
At some point you're going to need sleep, whatever.
Just a quick point to clarify. It is all a group at once, not old
They're
school Royal Rumble style.
They're all running at you at once.
Right, exactly.
All right, now that makes it a little more difficult.
Right.
Because, that's like a sea of ants.
Yeah. And I've succumbed to them.
So it's a line of kids directly in front of you, and they're coming at you one at a time.
Exactly. All in front of you.
One at a time.
Exactly.
Nobody behind you.
No, I mean, they're all around you. So
you're surrounded.
Exactly.
Oh, you're surrounded? Oh, no, that changes the formula.
Yeah, I think so, too. Let me ask you this. Can I use a sickle?
You can do whatever you want.
What?
I'm going to have a sickle, and I'll just be swinging that around.
Wait till you hear the ring announcer scream he's got a sickle.
Look, if they're coming at me all at the same time, they want to fight fair, we'll fight fair. If not, I'm grabbing a sickle, and I'm lopping some kids' heads off.
The best idea you came up with was you set the tone with the first one, and then you said, you want a piece of this next? You want some of this? And then you set the tone like that.
You keep up the verbal barrage as long as you've got the wind to talk.
Oh, exactly.
Sure. All right. I like that. I like the fact that you're going to have some fear into them. It's an interesting thing. How many 9-year-olds could you beat up? Now, on the other hand, if it was girls, it would be scarier because when my kid was like in 3rd grade, the difference between a third grade girl and a boy is unbelievable. A boy in 3rd grade, he weighs about 60 pounds, right? Maybe even a little smaller. Girls are going about $125. They've got a good 2 feet on them. They've got gigantic breasts, and they're just like this. I am so in love with your son. And you're just like, hey, seriously, stay away from him. You're fucking frightening. I'd rather he slept with a teacher.
A 3rd grade girl, every bit of them is thick. It's big, broad shoulders.
I don't know.
It's thick forearms, thighs, calves.
I don't know why there's become this discrepancy between the way little girls grow and little boys grow. When I was younger, it was like an inch or two. They were like an inch or two taller than us till we hit like 5th or 6th grade. Now they've got a good 1.5 feet, sometimes even 2 feet, and 100 pounds on the boys. If he never needs any help with schoolwork, I'd be glad to come over.
They have to put them in the back of the classroom or the boys won't be able to see the chalkboard from over their heads.
It's like 2 species. It's like Chihuahuas with St. Bernards. I don't know what happens with them. Someone says it's the steroids in chickens, but I don't know for a fact.
I don't know. You get a big 6-foot 3rd grade girl in there dropping a Hogan leg drop on you.
Yeah, we're not fighting.
That's brutal.
We're not fighting girls. With that one will be how many you can have sex with. And I'm still going to go 50.
And still use the sickle.
I have to tell you, I have to tell you that women are more ruthless than men.
And what?
Oh, well, a woman will jump and grab your hair and pull you down.
That's true.
They'll jump down on the ground and bite your ankle.
Right. They're vicious,
they'll
aren't
kick
they?
you in the they'll kick you in the groin.
Particularly if you're trying to steal their baby. Have you ever noticed that? If you try to steal a woman's baby, they will come at you with everything they have.
That sounds like the voice of experience.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, even a sickle won't slow them down. I understand you're sitting in. How many 9-year-olds could you beat up? Seriously. And I want you to Be totally honest.
And they're bum rushing me now.
Yeah,
changing
bum
the rules a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if I even like that. I like one at a time.
One at a time, I'd say, 50 plus.
Right.
But as a bum rush, it's kind of chaotic. I'd go with sort of 15 to 20.
I'm going to tell you right now, too. The one, if they bum rush, they come at me that way, a couple of them are getting killed. I mean, before I was just knocking them out. But even if I have to smother a couple on my way down, I'm going to kill them. And I'm going to know that maybe I lost this fight to this 9-year-olds, but there's going to be some crying parents later. They're
Smother?
real, yeah.
And how would you do that?
I mean, as they're piling on top of me, I'm going to put a couple underneath me
Okay.
and make sure I smother them. It has to happen. Derek, you're on Ron Fez.
Hey, 19043.
That's old school. Way to go, buddy.
How about retarded kids with a mongoloid strength trained by Master Poe?
Well, first of all, they're going to have, super strength. On the other hand, Master Poe's not going to be able to train them.
Oh, okay.
All right? So, if you're fighting retarded kids, best thing to do there is to try to confuse them at first. My thing would be yell, hey, did you hear Scooby-Doo died? And get them upset about that. And so that they're completely disoriented.
That will at least get them so upset that their eyes are closed and they're looking down. They'll go windmill on you with their arms.
Then
at
it's
that
over,
point.
my friend, because I have been caught by them before. And I'll tell you this. They can catch you with a forearm. There's something about a retarded kid's forearm. It's more like an aluminum bat. And Master Poe, you would probably know more about this than me. Why are their forearms just so strong?
Everyone's forearm is. This
And yet
part
they
of your
use-
arm?
But we don't use it, I guess, right?
Exactly.
I think it's from coming out of the birth canal and someone trying to shove them back in while they're trying to be born. Just fighting with those forearms to
You
get
think
out.
so?
Yeah.
Do you think that's where it comes from?
Yeah.
The other thing about them is the speed is phenomenal because they walk on tippy toes. And I don't know, Master Poe, I know you work with kids. Could you do something where you force them onto their tippy toes like a retarded kid and then later let them run?
So you want this retarded kid to run on their toes?
Well, I'm saying, they're going to do that naturally.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
I want to do is somehow get a helmet on them at an early age and get them out on the field playing like an outside linebacker.
Oh, that's good.
Well, you would have to start from the very beginning. I mean, if they are retarded...
Take them away from their mother at birth.
Okay. If they are retarded and you want them to train, then you train them on eye-hand coordination, balance, strength. You would give them all the tools necessary, and then later on teach them the next level.
But how do you get them to focus? How do you get them not to freak out if you say, hey, you got that girl pregnant, now you have to marry her? And then that always confuses them.
Because they will.
I never had that problem.
Oh,
They'll
yeah.
go running for the stands.
Well,
They'll
guess
leave the
what?
football field.
Now you're going to have to get married because she's pregnant.
No!
And
then it goes into. Then it's not even words. It's
Yeah.
like a rabbit shriek when a rabbit gets hurt.
Yeah.
Then it's just like a.
Yeah. And when they're coming after you, I mean, the only thing you can do is start throwing candy behind your head, and hopefully they'll stop and get it because they will run you down with that speed from walking on their toes. So when are you training these kids, Master Poe?
When am I starting to train
Yeah,
this?
when's that start? Master Poe's School of Retarded Self-Defense.
Yeah, that tippy toe walking, that makes that Achilles tendon like a steel wire, steel coil.
Yeah.
And the calves just get built up super strong, too. And it's like having a kangaroo come at you.
You know, Fez and I have a dream of taking these kids, and I'm sure a lot of the parents don't want them. You take them at an early age. You train them for pro football. I mean, that's all they're thinking about. Get ball, get ball, get ball. The only problem is how we're going to get them through college. I guess go to a school like Alabama.
Yeah, something like that where no one's going to notice.
Fairly easy to get through.
Yeah, you just keep moving them.
Maybe some of those kids would win student athlete down there. Would be great. Here's Jerry. You're on Ron Fez.
Hey, I'm just thinking, wouldn't it be like putting Master Poe in a ring with him like Keanu Reeves in that movie The Matrix?
Yeah, Master Poe is really being humble today. I honestly think that he could take over 1,000.
Well, I don't know. In the beginning, I'm going to be thrown off because they are 9-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get that effect.
This is
You gotta get your head
okay.
into
We're in make believe land.
No, we'd probably be held in somewhere in the tri-state area.
I see.
And I really am going to try to set this up. I'm going to talk with Wiki about if we do this as a promotion.
I see. and they're not wearing anything.
Well, they're naked?
No.
What are you saying? I'm very confused. Now this
Now
is
give
Fez.
me 1,000.
Now this is Fez's make-believe land.
I didn't know this was Naked Ninja style.
No, they're not wearing any equipment.
No,
we discussed that. We know that. They don't have...
A lot of their equipment isn't developed fully.
And I
yet.
almost see this more as a fight to the death. You know what I mean? I don't want any referees here because, let's face it, right off the bat, these kids are cheating, not us.
If you're using... All right, hypothetically,
Yeah.
if you're using your entire body,
Right.
your fists, your elbows, your head, your knee, your feet,
Right.
and your palms and whatever other techniques that you can...
And ass.
I'm sorry.
Don't put your ass on them.
You may have to sit on a couple.
If you sit on them, they'll jump on your head then.
Yeah, you be
So you
careful.
can't, you can't sit on them.
You be careful, Haystack, when you try that finishing move of yours.
If they get the horseshoe from around my neck, I'm in trouble.
All right, Chris has come up with an interesting idea. Chris, you're on Ron Fez.
Hey, buddy. It's great
Yeah.
to have you back.
It's great to be back.
I think the way to go actually would be ground fighting. Just choke these little bastards out. Maybe, break a couple arms with a couple arm bars. I think.
What do you think about that, Mr. Poe? You take him to the ground.
Well, as soon as you take one down to the ground, the other one's going to jump on your face, and then another one's going to grab your left leg, and they're going to pull you from every angle.
I'm digging
Plus
one,
jump in the air and stomp on your face.
I'm digging one of their eyeballs out with my thumb before I'm out of there. I swear to God I will. And then I'll show that to the other ones.
How do you think the fight went? You just put up a thumbs up with an eyeball on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll pop that in my mouth and spit it out, and you'll see some grossed out kids.
Yeah.
I am so furious with these 9-year-olds that they think they're going to line up against us and catch us one at a time. What I want to do is get a bunch of us to attack a 9-year-old and see how they fucking like it.
Well, you got to send a message.
Sure. And that message is it ain't over yet, is it, fatty?
As it goes through the third grade.
Hey, Joe, you're on the Fez.
Hey, Ron Fez, Master Poe. How you guys doing?
Good.
All right.
Good. I got a suggestion for you guys. Years ago, when I used to wrestle with my dad, me and my brothers would just bum rush him.
Sure.
And he wasn't a big guy. He's a regular-sized guy. He would stack us on top of each other.
Sure. I mean, it's no problem at all when everybody's been tried to wrestle their dad or their big brother or their uncle, and it's nothing to wrestle a kid. Fez, and that's your thing of 3. Let me drop it down this way. How many 3-year-olds do you think before you gave up, Fez?
I mean, they can't even walk.
That's what I'm trying to point out to him.
Yeah, the 3-year-olds would be easy.
All right, so how many? Give me a number.
50 3-year-olds.
50 3-year-olds. Be dicing them up like sandwiches. Dicing them up like sandwiches. Here's Chris. Chris, you're on Ron Fez.
Hey, boys, I had a question for Poe. I just want
Sure.
to know what's the worst ass beating he's ever given somebody?
Is this something you like to sit around and think about, Master Poe?
I don't know what you're talking about. Self-defense?
Yeah.
Well, just in a situation. I mean, have you ever been out and about, you're in a bar, someone will start some shit, and then you laid into them?
A few things happened in my lifetime.
Yeah. Stuff where you were cruising around with your friends drunk, so a minority
Yeah.
hopped out.
All self-defense.
All defending yourself.
Yeah, you got to keep defending yourself like me against these 9-year-olds, because there's a lot of them. Little bastards. Look at that kid up there. He's age 6. He's on TV right now. I guess he's been scattered in the hurricane. How quick before... Do you think you can knock him out in one punch, Fez? Or let me ask you this. If you punch that 6-year-old on TV right now, he's been lost in the hurricane, kill him?
Yeah.
One punch kill him?
Yeah.
I don't think you could.
Yeah, I think so.
Mr. Pauly, looking at Fez, he has no training whatsoever.
None.
You think he could kill a kid with one punch?
Well, if I teach him in 15 minutes, he can.
Congratulations, Fez, if you're ready to make that commitment.
15 minutes to kill.
Could he kill Harry? And something that you would teach him in 15 minutes.
Sure.
Nice. Fez, maybe
I better not learn it then.
You do need the confidence that even if you don't use any of these skills, and I hope you never have to. But I could tell by the way we're talking here today, you need a little more confidence in your physical self.
Yeah, it would help.
Fez has only been in one fight in his whole life, and that one went down as a loss.
Yeah, that was, I was coming home from the 7-Eleven. I had just gotten a Slurpee.
Yeah, let me guess. You were getting some snacks. Chubbsy is hungry in the middle of the day down in Florida.
And I was walking back down the road to my house, and these 2 kids came up from from behind me, and they grabbed my bike, and they wouldn't let my bike go. And I was forced off of my bike.
Girl's bike?
No, it was a nice bike.
Yeah, but was there the bar there?
No, because the last bike I had fallen on it, so they decided we didn't want to have that happen again.
So, girl's bike.
Yeah. So they had grabbed my bike, and they were going to take my bike and everything.
Is this when they start to call you a fat gay kid, or what did they say? What did they say first?
It was fat first.
Fat.
Fat always came first. And it was these two shirtless boys in cut-off dungaree shorts, and they had cane fishing poles. Apparently they had been fishing. We had a lot of woods around the house. They had been fishing out in the woods. And then what happened was they took my bike and they threw it in the ditch there. And then as I was trying to get away from them, one of them clocked me from behind right in the ear.
So what'd you do?
I kept going. I
Right.
didn't stop my pace at all, really. I kept stumbling forward and just screamed, "That didn't hurt."
Good one.
And just kept going.
Through your tears.
Yeah.
That didn't hurt.
And left the bike there in the ditch.
Your dad furious when you showed up home without a bike?
No, because I didn't tell anyone.
Oh, good.
I just waited a while and went back and got my bike out of the ditch. Yeah.
Where did he strike you?
Your urine-soaked bike.
Right in the ear. Right in the ear hole. Hit me from
Pushing it
behind.
home with your red ear.
Yeah, I couldn't even get back on it to ride it home. There was no way. It just wasn't happening.
Just out of what, your own sadness?
Yeah, just
Why would people be so mean? Like that had to occur to you?
that and like still just shaking like a leaf. Where
Right.
the point of I'm not even going to be able to get on bar or no bar
Right.
in the middle of this thing. I'm not going to be able to get on this bike.
Fatty can't ride.
One of the things that you just said that's interesting is the areas that you're striking. He struck you in the back of the head on the side by
Yeah,
the ear?
yeah.
Okay, so your equilibrium was shot. You were dizzy. You were
Sure.
You couldn't, you know.
You drop
it
couldn't
rung.
stand.
It rung.
You drop your Slurpee?
Oh, the Slurpee was gone the minute I was being, held back on my bike. They had the handlebars in the back of it.
So that's
the
what
Slurpee was gone immediately.
that's what hurt your feelings the most. That sweet ice just going right down the sewer.
You know
with
how-
with your dreams and your dignity.
You know my love of frozen sugared water.
I heard this story from his dad and his brother and his mom, and they were out the window laughing, looking out.
Yeah, you think they would have come down the street a little.
Is that when they hit you with the nickname Fartley?
That's about when it started. Yeah.
That hurts.
I don't know how it networked through the neighborhood at that point. There was no internet or cell phones at that point.
There was no telephone at that point when you were a kid.
We had phones.
It was you and
At the
Fatty,
party line.
You and Fatty Arbuckle lived in the one part of town.
So that was my one fight experience.
After that, you start carrying a knife?
No.
How'd
I
you,
quit riding the bike for a while.
Then how'd you make all those sandwiches for yourself at school? After that, you start to stay inside and cook more?
Yeah, then I found my love of television. Of daytime television, after school shows.
Hey, Scott, you're on Ron Fez. How you doing?
Hey, Scott.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What do you got, buddy?
I think one of your previous callers pointed out the type of kid that would be coming into the ring after you.
Right.
Today's kids, mostly soccer playing little pansies. They don't know how to take a hit. They don't know how to give a hit. I think you're going to knock out a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, that is the truth. And I'm telling you, everybody is shocked when you get hit. If you're in a bar fight or whatever, no one is thinking after they get hit. There's no way to train to be able to take a hit better, right, Master Pell?
Well, that's not true. If you're comfortable, if you're in the ring and you're constantly fighting all the time,
right,
then you're tempering your body.
Right.
So eventually, your body will get tough enough to absorb.
Well,
these
you're
strikes.
almost numb to pain.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
It really depends on your training. But getting back to what we were talking about before,
Fezzy?
You're going to get tired. It's as simple as that. You will get tired. After a certain amount of punches, you're going to be exhausted. And if you think that you can do 100 kids, that's not going to happen.
I slept for days after two young fishermen got me.
All right, let's grab Steve real quick, because I know he's a battler. And, I don't want to stay with this one thing forever, but it drives me crazy to hear how some people just have no belief. All right, Steve, I don't know whether you heard the premise that we went through, and I've seen you. You're a guy who is ready to scrap. You took on that
Tito Ortiz, yeah.
Tito Ortiz, which, to me, the balls to just say, here's a man who's a vicious killer. Yeah, Tito, I'm ready for you.
Of course.
Now, 9-year-olds, they're coming after you.
How many of them?
That's it. How many of them can you handle? How many of them can you fight off before you finally succumb?
Before you jump in a hybrid and take off.
You too, huh? Thank you. My first instinct would not be to fight 9-year-olds, only because I think there's got to be you've got to have a screw loose somewhere.
All right, but let's do this. Let's take it up a notch. Right. Nazis have your parents. They will kill them unless you fight these 9-year-olds. You're doing this to save your family.
I think I've said about all I'm going to say to my parents. They can go with God. No, that's all right. If I absolutely had to fight 9-year-olds,
yes,
I could probably get about a dozen of them down before they really piled on. They're sort of like big cockroaches at that point.
I would just love to see Steve just punch a 9-year-old after 9-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, if really given a choice, I mean, are they knife wielding 9-year-olds? Do they have guns?
No, white kids, non-retarded.
Oh,
non-retarded whites.
Non-retarded whites.
That's the key.
Yeah. We're making this as easy as possible.
Then I might have to up that to maybe 20. Yeah. I could take on 29-year-olds, but if the choice has been completely eliminated for me and I have to fight 9-year-olds, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming in and giving us your expertise. Fez,
thank you.
You're still going to tap out at 3.
3, yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Ron and Fez Show.
Ron Bennington, Fez Watley, The Ron and Fez Show.
XM202.